What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Wolfpack Fantasy Football Podcast. I'm your host, Dylan Clemens. Here with me, as always, are my two co-hosts, Michael Platt and Ike Bonnie. What's up, fellas? Happy preseason football day.
What up?
I think we can come up with a better name, but I'm ecstatic.
We're ready for it.
Even though it's just a bunch of goons playing and Josh Jacobs, who's getting 6 carries on the first drive or whatever you said it was. What?
2 drives, I think. If I'm mistaken.
What's going on? Why is that happening?
Gotta see what he's got, man.
He might be a little bit expendable after them not signing that 5th-year extension.
Bingo.
Yeah, that's totally goofy. How's
Zamir White?
I was just going to ask you how he does look good.
He had a good first run. It was for about 10 yards. And then the next run, he got stonewalled going out to the left. But he still looked good doing it.
That's very good. Very cool. Ike, how's your day, man?
It's good. It's hot out, man.
You work today?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Did you have to work outside?
Just for a little bit of the day. And then I came home, hung out with my kid, and worked from home. So it was a decent day.
Nice.
Yeah, it was definitely sticky out today.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
But yeah, guys, we're not doing really anything too special tonight on the show. We're pretty much just going through some of the training camp buzz and training camp news that has happened, injury news. And then I did a kind of like an AMA type thing on the Facebook group on Sunday. And there were some good questions in there. And I'm just going to ask you guys pretty much those same questions so I can get your guys' opinions on it.
Yeah,
Sounds
absolutely.
good.
But we got some other things to mention first before we hop into that, though, if you want to take that away, Dylan.
Yeah, guys, if you could, we would appreciate it if you followed us and subscribed to the Fantasy Six Pack YouTube channel. And if you could go over to fantasysixpack.net/plans and check out the all access plan that we got going on. It's only $10 a month, and you get access to the cheat sheet and projections, access to our award-winning rankings. And the best part, in my opinion, is access to the Discord, where you can talk to our whole writing staff and shoot the shit and just talk fantasy football, which we all love to do. And I know there's a lot of people out there that love to as well.
Yeah, not only is it a fun chat to be a part of, but you also have award-winning, Fantasy Pro finalists for rankers in that chat as well, so you can get solid advice too and have fun.
Mm-hmm. And that we do AMAs in there, like our boss Joe Bond. He did an AMA in there last weekend. Same with Davis Pang did a best ball AMA. So it was.
He's really good at best ball, dude.
Did you ask a question in that, Dylan?
Yeah, I did. I know.
Would you?
On which one? The best ball?
Yeah, I could have swore you already told me, but I forgot what it was.
Yeah, I don't. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't remember. What either. Bullet Plant, how about you wanna?
Gabe Davis, maybe.
Yeah, it might have been. You want to go ahead and talk about our sponsor?
Yeah, sure. So just recently we got sponsored by a, frankly, it's some friends of ours, but they did some great work. Coming up with this Facebook page where you can pretty much find almost, I wouldn't say all, but a decent amount of sports memorabilia, especially, this region's sports memorabilia. I know Dylan, he's got a nice Giannis, signed Giannis basketball. He always loves showing it off.
Right there. I love it. It's my baby, man.
But they're called American Ras. And if you want to, you ever need a sports memorabilia, it's a great gifting option. I know Dylan's got some for, Christmas and whatnot. I don't know, Ike, do you have anything from there?
The only one I got is a John Lennon mini guitar.
I mean, that sounds pretty cool.
That is super cool, man. That's really
cool. I got it down here. Oh, my bad, guys.
No, you're fine. While you're looking for that, we did get a question. It is fantasy related. Who do you think is the best?
This is a Magic one.
Ooh, it looked cool though.
What was it, LaPointe? Sorry.
Yeah, who do you think is the best first pick for fantasy football this year?
I think it's Jonathan Taylor.
Oh yeah,
he's by far the safest. If you're chasing the ceiling and don't care about maybe getting injured, I think we've talked about it already. It's probably Christian McCaffrey. He's
You want to say that? You could say Derrick Henry too.
Yeah, both those guys are going
Considering
to be
he's averaging
projected.
24.
Both of those guys are going to be projected off the charts with fantasy production, but it's just injury concerns, especially with Christian McCaffrey. But yeah, it's Jonathan Taylor.
You can make an argument for Cooper Kupp if you're in a PPR league, but it's not that often a wide receiver beats out a running back in total points. So,
and you think he
the
can do
likelihood
that
of
again?
that happening again? I was just let me finish my sentence. But I'm just saying you can make the argument for him, especially in a PPR league. And if you can make the argument for him, you can probably make the argument for Justin Jefferson as well. But I am in total agreement with Dylan. Safety is Jonathan Taylor. And if you're searching for the stars, go for Christian McCaffrey. I don't want to give away my information because I got a little tidbit, stat for later in the show. But yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But so we'll move on to our, back to our sponsor here, American Raz. They got the Facebook URL down at the bottom. So if you need any sports memorabilia, especially for birthdays or any type of gifts, it's really good idea, and it's pretty cheap. It's pretty much just a raffle system. They even recently we did a raffle for a month's membership on our Discord channel.
Yep, you could have won.
Pretty cool.
You could have won a month's membership for $1.
Yeah, $1.
You gotta have good luck on it though, man. Unless you want to buy a lot of lines.
Agreed.
It does take luck, but I mean, you could honestly win it for $1. It's so much fun when you win it for $1 too, because everybody else is mad at you.
Didn't we do a few PS5s in there? Or was that a different one?
That was a different one.
I was gonna say because someone got it for like $60, a guy that we know.
Yep. All right, but we can move on then.
Yeah, let's just jump right into the training camp news then.
Yep. Get right into the fun analysis.
Well, unfortunately, we're starting off with a kind of a disappointing thing. Tim Patrick goes down with an ACL tear, guys. I guess he just went up, catch a football, came down awkwardly, and it was not good. But what I want to ask you guys, how does this affect the Broncos offense as a whole? Like, let's have you start.
I don't think it'd be worse if like Cortland Sutton or Judy went down, considering they're the starters. But I just think that just means more targets for those two and Hamler. That's about it. And Albert O will get some too. It sucks that he got hurt though.
Yeah, Tim Patrick led the Broncos in receiving yards, didn't he, last year?
He didn't leave them in receiving yards. He led the Broncos receiving core in fantasy points.
Gotcha. Okay.
Past 2 years, right?
Yeah, the past 2 years. I did the research, and he was really close in catches and yards, but there was 1 year. Last year, he got beat up by Sutton by catches, and then the year prior, it was Judy. So technically, he didn't, but he still scored the most fantasy points because he was getting those touchdowns. And that's what we're gonna miss for Russell Wilson.
I feel like him and KJ Hamler will have a nice connection.
What's up, Joe? I know fantasy football expo this week or next weekend. That's gonna be fun. I'm super excited.
I can't wait either, man. I can't.
I know they got a lot of fun activities there. Joe, I wish you still had the ability to throw a football.
We should have done flag football, man. I'm ready for it.
I'll play. I mean, they take randoms. We just got to sign up.
I'm in. Guys are going down.
But, yeah, I mean, I pretty much agree with Ike. He kind of took the words out of my mouth. It's an uptick for Albert O if he gets the starting job, because there's rumors for that right now. But I think he'll get the starting job over Dulcich.
I hope so.
Yeah, me too. But KJ Hamler, he's going to be the beneficiary of this one mostly, and he's probably going to be a solid late round snag if you can get him. Otherwise, because he's at this point he's going to cash in on his draft value.
He is returning from an ACL though, so there's no guarantee he's ready for week 1 too, guys. You got to remember that. Just keep that in the back of your mind.
But he could be a sneaky late.
I definitely agree.
Stretch play. Mm-hmm. But if you want, that kind of leads us into our next segment here. Let's talk about that Broncos backfield. All right. I know Dylan, I believe you're the one that found this, but Javonte Williams and Melvin Gordon looks to be a 70-30 split, according to Cecil Lammy of the denverfan.com. If that's true, guys, oh my God, Javonte Williams is going to smash this year, and he's going to be a top 3 pick next year.
Yeah, if he gets 70% of the snaps in the backfield, guys, Javonte Williams is going to be a top 5 running back in all of fantasy football. Unfortunately, someone came back and disputed it and said that by his accounts, it's been more of a 54-46 split, and that was Benjamin Albright.
That's what I feel like is more reasonable.
Sure, I got him at a 60-40, so I mean, that's me, with my hopes up, though.
Yeah.
70 might be a lot, man. I don't know if they want to destroy him this early. I don't know.
And I'm assuming Benjamin Albright's there at training camp watching it, so I probably lean his opinion more with the 54-46 split. But that 70-30, when we saw that, for like 2 hours, I'm like, he needs to be a top 5 fantasy pick now all of a sudden. I just talked myself right into the training camp buzz.
Now, my question is it 70-30 rushing work or 70-30 total work?
I think it was just snaps in the backfield.
Which just seems insane.
If it's that, man, it's going to be Javonte Williams to the moon if it's 70-30. I don't.
If so, I don't want anything to do with Melvin Gordon.
Pump the brakes.
I agree. I just don't know if it's necessarily going to be like that.
Yeah.
Because Melvin Gordon's still a very good football player.
Yeah, I mean, if that was true, I'd probably have to bump Javonte Williams into my my RB1s at that point, because I am more skeptical on him, because I like to call my shots on my guys, but if they're not my guys, it's hard to believe in their potential if they haven't shown it, consistent, like a full workload, and we just haven't seen it yet. Hopefully now we see it.
Yeah, I agree. I think that wraps up the Broncos. Now we can jump into the next bit of news. Didn't want to really start the show off with this. Desean Watson news. He was Sue Robinson came to the conclusion that he should be suspended 6 games. That lasted about a day or two, and then we found out the NFL is appealing. So now we're back to knowing nothing again.
Little tidbit in between the news, we did get other breaking news that Miami Dolphins got their 1st and 3rd round draft picks forfeited for tampering, and the owner, Stephen Ross, got fined, what was it, $1.5 million? I wish I had that money.
Yeah, and it didn't even hurt him at all, I bet.
He's also suspended from the team for a full year, which is you don't see that very often.
No, that was kind of a big shock there. Like, what do you think about that? Because they were trying to get Tom Brady to be a minority owner and quarterback, and they're talking to Sean Payton after the Saints didn't allow that, and they said, fuck it anyways.
Just stupid. Just stupid. That's what you get for doing stupid shit.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, nothing real. I mean, there was news on the Desean Watson stuff, but we don't really know anything, so I think we can just pretty much move past that for now. Until there's more stuff. Yep. Next one here, this caught me off guard. Marquise Brown was arrested for speeding Wednesday morning.
Yeah, that was weird. Criminal speeding.
Yeah. So do we think that the league is going to take action to this, or is he just going to be fined and everything's going to move along normal? How does this affect the Cardinals offense? Let's just start there. Ike, go ahead.
I think the NFL has so much going on that something like this isn't going to be that big of a deal. They have to deal with Kamara still, and that's already being pushed back. And they have to deal with this Dolphin stuff and then all the stuff with Desean. Yeah, no, you're fine with Marquise Brown in this offense.
LaPlante, how about you let the listeners know the lowdown on Kamara, since I kind of plugged at it right there.
So his trial got delayed 60 days, which is going to, at least push him into the start of the regular season. So he should be starting off the season. It's just whether he gets suspended during the season.
It could be like what happened with Zeke a few years back, right? Where he played 10 or 12 games and all of a sudden he was out for those next 4 because it finally went through.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it could depend. It could take a while, honestly, with the
The
Deshaun
latest
Watson
date I
news,
saw
Miami news, all that.
was 29th for Kamara was his date for that, I think. So September 29th.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. That'll be interesting. But LaPlante, let's hop back to Hollywood Brown. Do you think this affects anything with the Cardinals or anything, or no?
I mean, it affects it a little bit for the training camp, getting the continuity together with them. But, I mean, really, there's not much ramifications to this. I mean, he still has the chemistry with Kyler Murray from college. I mean, he's a deep ball thrower, Kyler Murray. Marquise Brown is a deep ball route runner. If he can learn to catch the ball, nothing will be wrong. I assume he's not going to, just forget to catch the ball, even worse that he did in Baltimore. But we do have a question here from Brandon, and I won't lie, it's a little bit long, so I'm not going to put it on the screen because it's kind of like a two-parter, it looks like. But he wants to know, he's noticed Josh Jacobs, J.K. Dobbins, and Travis Etienne are all going around where he would pick at his RB2 spot. Who do you think has the highest ceiling, and who do you think is the most reliable out of the three? I know the only non-injured one is Joshy, and he has Adams now to open the box more, but J.K. and Etienne both look so enticing for some reason. And no problem, Brandon. You don't have to apologize for a long question, man. Do you guys need me to repeat anything in that?
No,
I'm reading it right now.
Yeah, the highest ceiling for me is Travis Etienne. I've talked about him all offseason.
I'd have to agree.
It. Yeah, he's going to be used a lot in the passing game. I know everyone's loving up on James Robinson being back already from his Achilles and all that stuff. But I'm not really buying into it. We saw when Cam Akers came back last year, he struggled. I know it was a shorter time span with Cam, but I'm not too worried about James Robinson cutting into his workload. And Etienne's just a big play waiting to happen. So that's where I lean with that.
And he's been looking good.
That's who I've drafted out of the 3-2 right there.
I'm a little on the opposite end of that fence, Dylan, and I'm sure you already knew that.
Yeah, I know you're. I wanted you to go into Dobbins here, so hopefully you're going to go in.
Well, no, it's not that I'm going to go into Dobbins.
You're going to go Jacobs?
Well, no, it's Etienne. He's one of those dude. He hasn't played an NFL snap yet. We don't know what we're going to get from him. All right, now, yeah, he could be phenomenal, but he can also be a bust because there hasn't even been a down played because he was injured in the preseason last year. Yes, he's looking great, which is very positive for him, doing all this work in the training camp, coming off of this, I believe it was the Liz Frank injury. It's a very big positive for him. But you know what also is a big positive for the Jaguars? James Robinson's not on the PUP list. And he's looking good in training camp too. He's not doing, much contact, but he's at least moving around. And he's the one who had an Achilles injury last year. So I really do think they want to incorporate James Robinson into the mix. Etienne is obviously going to be the passing down back, but if you look at the stature and the archetype of Travis Etienne, I'm sorry, he's not an in between the tackles running back. That's what they're going to be using James Robinson for.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah,
in PPR, I like Etienne. All right, but I think the ceiling play is J.K. Dobbins. I know he's the ceiling play because of the injury risk, but Josh Jacobs is the safe play. Go on.
Sure. Like anything to add?
Is Josh Jacobs the safest play? I mean, they used him a lot in the Hall of Fame game. Why?
that is a little goofy.
He doesn't get injured, and even when he does, he still plays, surprisingly.
The only thing is Kenyon Drake is definitely going to be stealing a ton of targets from him.
Who I would pick out of those three would be J.K. Dobbins. But he asked me who was the ceiling, who was the safest.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, I got you.
I think as long as Etienne gets 12 touches a week, he's going to be perfectly fine with those 12 touches a week. Yeah,
but as your RB2? I'd take that as my flex.
If he gets,
I love that as my flex.
If he gets, 7-8 carries, Mike, and
I was thinking like 10,
4 or 5 catches in the passing game, he's already getting there.
Do you think the Jaguars are going to be good enough to where he's going to be getting double-digit carries and James Robinson will be getting
I didn't say double-digit carries.
You said 15.
I said 12 to 15 touches.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Fair
Yeah,
enough. That's my
not
bad.
carries. In the passing game too. Especially if like you were just going to go into the Jaguars struggling as a team. Who's going to be in when they're down catching little dump offs from Trevor Lawrence? That's going to be Trevor Etienne.
Yes.
Yep, I'll give you that. He's going to probably be a garbage time king.
For sure. For sure.
But
hopefully that helped you out, Brandon.
Yeah, there was a long discussion, but long question. Deserves a long answer.
Let's go jump into the next thing. Wideouts, guys, they're getting paid right now. DK Metcalf, 3 years, $72 million, $58 million guaranteed. Deebo Samuel, 3 years, $71 million, $41 guaranteed. And he's got a bunch of incentives, some rushing incentives in there. Like if he gets over 3 rushing touchdowns, I heard this on the Ringer fantasy football podcast. He gets over 3 rushing touchdowns, it's like another extra $200,000 or something.
Yeah, so he's definitely gonna be getting the carries.
I feel like it should be more than that.
I agree. Yep. And then the one that came across today actually was Deontay Johnson on a shorter extension, 2 years, $36 million, $27 guaranteed.
Kind of surprised by that.
How come, Mike?
Yes and no.
They don't pay. They don't like to pay Steelers don't like to pay wide receivers that much necessarily. They kind of like funnel them out a little bit. At least the last few years. Plus, they drafted Pickens and Claypool is still under contract, so I just thought I would.
Who's also
maybe 1 year,
training camps.
maybe 1 year, but I can see why they kept him.
I'm going to be honest with you. Like, I think they hate Chase Claypool.
It's possible.
I think that's kind of what it shows. I think he's a knucklehead, and
that's probably why they got Pickens, because they do the exact same thing, kind of.
And if you want to talk about somebody blowing up from all this training camp buzz, I just see George Pickens all over Twitter, all over the place right now.
Yeah, I've been seeing.
We knew it, man. We knew it.
Running with the first team, he has not been playing with the special teams, which means they want to keep him in the game plan for the offense.
Mm-hmm. You want to talk about a sneaky late round upside right there? George Pickens could be asleep.
The only thing is you're betting on Mitch Trubisky, and it didn't work for the Bears. I don't know if it'll work for you.
And Mitch hasn't looked good. And Mason Rudolph is Mason Rudolph, and Kenny Pickett hasn't looked good either.
Yeah, apparently Kenny Pickett's way behind.
Yeah,
I mean, not surprised. It's Pittsburgh defense, guys.
Yeah, and it's the first week. It's the first week of training camp ish still, so the offense should be behind the defense too. You know that makes sense. This is the biggest question I want to talk to you guys about, and the LaPlante. I'm going to start with you, and it has to do with Deebo. I've been struggling drafting him where he's going as like wide receiver 6, wide receiver 7, wide receiver 8, somewhere in there as your wide receiver 1. With him signing this contract, I don't know if this eases me a little bit. Are you okay with taking him where he's being drafted as your wide receiver 1?
If he falls to me, at a reasonable price, because do you know his ADP off the top hand right now? I know it's it's like wide receiver, like
8,
5.
I thought it was like 8.
It'd be more like 5.
I'm looking right now. Keep talking.
But I mean, I can see it. Dude scored 6 rushing touchdowns last year.
Yeah, that's so silly.
That is weird.
On 59 attempts. It's one off, but that's pretty much a sixth of his attempts. He was catching or rushing it in for a touchdown, which is kind of stupid.
Wonder how much was in the goal line.
No, I lied. Oh, wow. I was looking at the wrong number. He caught 6 touchdowns, rushed for 8.
That's more weird.
Yeah, he's not going to get to 8 touchdowns. I'll tell you guys that right now.
He's at least going to get 3.
But here's the thing. He might regress in the rushing touchdowns, but regress more to the mean in the receiving category.
Because now he takes over, man.
That's true.
I am kind of actually digging where he's going. He's going as wide receiver 10 right now behind Keenan Allen.
Dropped.
He has dropped, yeah.
Behind
I got him so early in Scott Fishbowl, it felt like.
Behind
for his wide receiver.
Behind Keenan Allen, behind Tyreek Hill. I think I'm taking Deebo Samuel over both of those guys.
I don't mind that now, actually.
and he's right ahead of T. Higgins and Michael Pittman, who I would rather have Debo ahead of. So I think I'm looking at him at wide receiver 8, and then I'm having issue. Would you rather have him or Mike Evans, who's wide receiver 7 right now?
I like Mike Evans more, man. I think,
dude, I want
it's stability, right? At the
I want part
position.
of that offense. You want part of that Tampa Bay offense.
That Tampa Bay offense threw 600 times last year. Like, it's going to be insane.
And then the next one, the last one I want to ask you is Deebo Samuel or I lost CeeDee Lamb.
Shit. I go Deebo.
Say that one more time?
I would go Deebo, yeah.
CeeDee Lamb or Deebo?
That one's Deebo.
I think I'm leaning CeeDee Lamb, guys. Especially, let me just walk right into this. James Washington, guys. I don't want to say he was a big free agent signing, but I feel like he was going to kind of be a decently big part of this Dallas offense with Michael Gallup. Yeah, he had suffered a Jones fracture, I think it was, which was what happened to Derrick Henry last year. So he's going to be out 6 to 10 weeks.
Yes.
The optimal thing would be 10 weeks.
CeeDee Lamb can see 175 damn targets this season.
But they're going to be having a safety over the top of him and watching him the whole time since they got no other second. I feel like it helps Dalton Schultz more than anything. They're going to leave it wide open for Dalton one-on-one with a linebacker.
My only concern is just we've never seen CD be the number one. It's been Amari drawing the number one coverage. It hasn't been CD.
Amari.
But I'm not worried about that.
He still drawed it.
I feel like CeeDee Lamb is the least person that I need to worry about being an alpha wide receiver, though, to be honest with you. He just
don't even look like one.
No, but he does.
But he screams alpha receiver.
Yes. When he going to catch the football, it just, oh, man.
His run after the catch is pretty insane, too.
Yes.
LaPlante, let me just throw you right on the spot, and you better be ready. Jalen Tolbert, late round guy. Yes? No? What do you think?
Yeah, I love him. Especially now with, like you said, the news to James Washington. Obviously, it's an uptick for Dalton Schultz a little bit, but I do love Tolbert as a sneaky round pick, kind of like a George Pickens, who could see early involvement in the offense. Man, it's hard to see CeeDee Lamb getting 170 targets.
I exaggerated.
I know. And my only thing is because I think this defense is going to make a step up, which is going to help them not have to throw it as much. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like, let me switch. Let me ask you this, Ike. Does this help Tony Pollard out at all and his fantasy value?
Can he
big time. Some more work in the slot? Are they gonna? Does he kind of just become a wide receiver now? Because he did play a lot of wide receiver in college too.
They're starting to do plays with those two together on the field already in camp. So now with what's his name going down, James Washington, I can see it even more. Move Tolbert outside, although it moves CD out of his comfort zone because he is a slot receiver. That's where he belongs.
Needs to be in the slot. Yep.
So I don't.
Number one.
Could this be the Will Fuller landing spot as the field stretcher?
That'd be sweet.
Why?
I saw it.
They don't have a ton of money. I think he's from Texas, right? I know he played in Houston, obviously, for a while. For some reason, I want to say he's from Texas, but go ahead, LaPlante.
Oh, I was just gonna say I saw Jerry Jones quote saying that they're not interested in a veteran receiver just yet.
Dalton Schultz to the moon, Jalen Tolbert to the moon, CeeDee Lamb.
Jeremy Jones is the one who says
Semi Fikoho, whatever his name is. Semi
They
Fikoho.
did sign a wide receiver from the other football league, the USFL.
The USFL MVP, right?
Yes,
I believe so.
Wide receiver.
Right. Yep.
I cannot remember his name for the life of me now. He might see some work, maybe some touches or targets, maybe.
Sure.
But let's move on to our next category here, guys. And we are going to talk about something that's going on right now, but they're not playing.
What?
The Jaguars wide receiving core. All right, so obviously at this point, it kind of seems like Laviska Shenault's dead. Somebody check his pulse.
Come on, man.
I couldn't have said it better myself.
They might put him at running back a little bit while James Robinson's still hurt.
Do you know CPR?
let go of the hope, Mike. It's
Yes,
gone.
I do.
All right.
Never give up
we're gonna
hope,
need
man.
you.
Never
We're
give
gonna
up
need
hope
you.
on the Viscinator.
But basically, I want to see your guys' rank for these receivers, because I actually got an update from Fantasy Pros here that states, and it was from Luke Maldonado, a Jaguars correspondent. Marvin Jones will start at wide receiver in the Jaguars' new look offense this season, according to the Jaguars report. It's been no secret this offseason that Jones would be the opening week starter, but the release of the Jacksonville's depth chart makes it official. Jones will start across from Zay Jones and Christian Kirk in the slot, as all three have been taking first-team reps. Laquan Treadwell is the only other Jaguars receiver to take any first-team reps. That's just what we need by Laviska Shenault. Paul's check.
Poor guy.
Notably leaving Fantasy's lightning rod, Laviska Shenault, the odd man out, like we said. But Marvin Jones, man, I just rank him real quick. I do like this news here, but I still would put Christian Kirk, Marvin Jones, and then Zay Jones.
Just a little bit closer now, maybe, because I don't like Christian Kirk in the slot now. I thought he could do the big play, so I thought they'd let him loose on the outside, but he might be peppered with targets now, I guess, I suppose.
Yeah, I was going to say I'm actually the opposite with it. I like that he's in there. I'm more worried about, and, I've hyped up Christian Kirk all offseason. Marvin Jones saw 120 targets last year, guys. Led Jacksonville in receiving. Maybe him and Trevor Lawrence just have a built-in chemistry, and they're totally cool with each other, and I wonder if that's going to eat away at Christian
Kirk. The veteran
Kirk.
Leadership.
Yeah, I wonder if it's going to eat away at Christian Kirk's fantasy value that I've been hyping up all offseason.
Marvin Jones always getting 90-plus targets, man.
It will eat into his value, but with how low he's going in drafts, he's still going to recoup the value for that.
Wide receiver 50-something Marvin Jones.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yep.
Him and Christian Kirk. Because everybody has the recency bias from last year. Yes, this offense was god-awful, but it's not going to be the same offense anymore.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be different scheme, different coaches, hopefully a little bit better of a defense. Yeah.
Nah.
Hopefully.
Yeah, they might.
You spent the number one pick on a pass rusher. You think he'd be good.
I'm assuming, I can only assume, but I'm pretty positive that they're going to be coached a little bit better this season.
It's a good assumption.
It's safe to assume that, yeah.
Either of us.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then, guys, jumping into the next piece of news, Matt Stafford. Oh, this is a little bit worrisome. I know it's August 4th, guys, but he's struggled with bad tendonitis in his throwing elbow, and Sean McVay came out and said that it's really abnormal for a quarterback to have that much pain right now. And he's gotten injections in his elbow and stuff. What does this do for Cooper Kupp's value, the whole Rams offense and all? Ike, let's have you start as you're sucking on your Mountain Dew Baja Blast.
Sweet, man. Thanks for that. Honestly, I'm not too worried about it right now. Not until we get a little bit closer. But he's still got a month and when's it start? September 5th, the season opener?
September 11th, I think.
So he's got a month plus, so a month and a week about. So, yeah, I wouldn't worry about it yet.
11th, yep.
I wouldn't worry about it just yet.
I mean, I'm a little worried.
Didn't Dak – my bad. Didn't Dak have that?
Dak did have elbow problems last year at the start of camp.
Okay.
He had
I thought so.
Shoulder fatigue or arm fatigue or something is what they were called.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so did Trey Lance.
That's because he hasn't thrown a football.
Trey Lance shouldn't because he's 22 years old.
All right, I just want to retract back to Dylan.
Dude, I wish we had a graphic that just screams bust right here.
What, Mike?
He hasn't thrown a ball in how long?
It seems like 3 years since he sat out the COVID year. Then
he started 2 games last year.
And then he sat on the bench for pretty much all last year.
He started 2 games last year.
I exaggerate, Mike. I was exaggerating a little bit. He's played 2 games in He's played 2 games in 3 years. I'm sorry. Okay.
He's only been in the league for now twice, and the year before he got drafted, he played some college games, so it's more than 2.
Defend him all you want, man. It's bullshit.
The train's going off the tracks here, guys. We're talking about Trey Lance, and we're supposed to be talking about Matt Stafford.
I mean, I was having this discussion with the fantasy community because they were upset with me for ranking Trey Lance over Matthew Stafford. But maybe this is more affirmation.
It just means Kirk Cousins slots in there, not Trey.
Kirky. Top 10 quarterback.
We're not going to hear the end of it from Dylan, though. You understand that.
That's my quarterback.
I did get him and Justin Jefferson in a best ball stack, though, and that was really nice. I felt really good about that.
It wet your whistle?
It went my way. It went my way, and it wet my whistle.
Oh, man. But, yeah, I think that's the last piece of training camp news. Do you guys want to hop into some of these questions that we got from the Facebook posts?
Yeah, sure. There's some good questions, too.
All right. Mike Evans, T. Higgins, or Keenan Allen as my wide receiver 1 at the 2 spot in the second round. So the 202, Ike, who would you rather have? Mike Evans, T. Higgins, or Keenan Allen as your wide receiver 1?
We just talked about it earlier, but I'd go Mike Evans. I want part of that offense.
Yeah, out of these three, I'm a little shocked you didn't take T. Higgins just because he's your boy.
That's my guy. I'd rather have him as a wide receiver 2, though.
Agreed. Yep.
That's fair. But, yeah, it's Mike Evans here. He's a ceiling play. Keenan Allen's is floor play. T. Higgins is the out-of-mind play.
Hope for the best that he just goes off.
Yeah, and I think I'm going to go with Mike Evans as well.
Nice.
Yeah. I know that's not like me, but I'm doing it.
Yeah, that's weird.
I'm buying
it's taking you how many years?
He's got 7 straight 1,000-yard seasons, so I think 7 years.
All right, just like you said, I'm pretty sure you were the one that said this to me. All right, guys, I hate to break it to you. No, he's not going to have a good season.
Yep.
Dylan's
no.
He's going to tweak his hamstring or something.
It's because Julio's there, man. Julio's
knock on wood. Knock on wood that he doesn't.
Ike, nice freaking transfer to the next question. Bringing up Julio, man. Is Julio Jones worth a late-round draft pick? There's been some weird rumors going on. Let me just hop in real quick. There was a rumor that he's going to take over the Gronk red zone snaps and stuff like that, plays.
That doesn't make sense.
No,
he can't catch a touchdown.
What was the one thing Julio Jones struggled with throughout his career?
Not a touchdown guy.
You act as if it was Julio's fault.
But what? But Mike,
when he got thrown the ball, he caught touchdowns.
Mike, but it was he went. Hold on, now I gotta pull it up.
It's just he didn't get thrown the ball in the red zone.
But you're acting like Matt Ryan was the corpse of Matt Ryan forever. He wasn't. Matt Ryan was a good quarterback.
Why are you saying he's a corpse right now? He might be fine in Indy.
Yeah.
They have a great offensive line.
He'll be good in Indy. Good run game, good offensive line.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, only good one good wide receiver. But
yeah.
I was gonna say, are you done? Because I was just gonna say I love Julio Jones as a late round pick.
Hell yeah!
You're gonna have to take your aches and your lumps with him if he gets injured, because at this point in this stage of his career, he is a little bit injury prone, and he used to be the type of guy that played through his injuries, and he's just not doing it anymore. But Brady attempted over 600 passing attempts last year, guys. I mean, that's a huge pie, and if Julio can stay healthy. And, especially if that news about the red zone's good, I love Julio this year's.
Yeah, I'm digging him too a little bit. He's not someone I'm have to have or anything, but like Ike was saying about Mike Evans, you want a piece of this offense, and if that's the piece of this offense, then that you got, then so be it.
What if he could do what Antonio Brown did last year? You would want that.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Can we not want him running off the field?
It'd be a lot cooler.
That's fair. It would be super weird if he did. Wow, it must just be playing with Tom, I guess, or something.
I guess it's playing with Tom.
He asked too much. Asked too much of him.
Just think about what an interesting cat Antonio Brown is. Just think about that for a second.
Yeah, no, he is definitely interesting. But I mean, let's move on to our next question. Somebody that got asked a lot of last year. Amon-Ra St. Brown, and he delivered for us, guys. But it's a new year. we got new receiving options in Detroit. You got Jameson Williams, DJ Chark's making buzz. You got TJ Hawkinson still, DeAndre Swift. Can the Sun God be a top 24 wide receiver this year?
He's currently going as wide receiver 29 around guys like Juju Smith-Schuster, Michael Slant God Thomas, Elijah Moore, Adam, all I do is catch touchdowns, Thielen, and Gabe Davis.
Wow, the one player you like in there, you don't even have a name for.
No, but did you guys like the names there or no?
You're not going to
Probably
nickname
could put
one guy
overrated between Gabe Davis.
Oh, boy.
Oh, man, yeah.
I'll die on that hill, man.
I definitely think there's a possibility that Amon-Ra St. Brown could produce top 24 upside. Why not? I know he saw a ridiculous amount of volume, and it's obviously he's not going to see that this season. But if he's efficient with those targets, those great targets that Jared Goff's going to be throwing him.
Fantastic targets, man.
I mean, for training camp, the targets have been great to DJ Chark. He's catching touchdowns.
Really? I actually missed the DJ Chark hype train. It's been good?
Yeah, it's been
Don't
good.
go back
DJ
on it,
Chark.
Dylan. I wouldn't get back on it.
The weird thing is I haven't seen anything about Amon-Ra.
You don't need to. He's already well established.
Yeah, 1 year, well established.
It was all that volume we saw, man. And Jared Goff is the check down king, and Amon-Ra is kind of the bigger slot position. So I feel like it's going to be the easier-ish target on the field.
You can't tell me you don't want the Sun God.
Amon-Ra kind of reminds me of Michael Thomas when he first came into the league. Like a really good route runner. Always just seems to be open. And no, he's not just running slants.
And he's going in a decent spot too, guys. At wide receiver 29. Like, would you rather have him or Rashad Bateman?
Bateman.
Oh shit! I'd rather.
I'm not Ike, but
the Sun God. The Sun God.
Would you rather have him or Jerry Judy?
Ah, shit. With Tim Patrick news, I go Judy. Boom.
It is close, but I still go Jerry with that one.
And then Darnell Mooney or Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Darnell. Possible number one right there.
I guess Darnell, yeah.
Amon-Ra St. Brown, Juju Smith-Schuster.
Juju. That one you can argue with me on. That one's closer.
Yeah, totally. But I think we can move on.
I think Juju's going to do really well.
Next question. After J2, who do you guys have as your next two picks in redraft? Ike, I'll start with you.
Eckler and C-Mac. My bad, C-Mac, Eckler, that order.
LaPlante, what's yours?
I would want running back first three.
I don't believe him. He would put Eckler in front of C-Mac. That was his gut initial reaction.
No.
I think what you mean is Eckler at number 2.
I mean, I'm keeping him at home league, so.
That's fair. But I have, idealistically, I know I'm going to get, you get crap for it, and you're going to have to, just take it. Because if he's healthy, man, CMC is going to win you a championship. It's stupid. Guy averages 23.2 points per game when he's on the field. That is by far, the best in fantasy history, guys. He's a fantasy anomaly.
A bit, so he can stay healthy.
It'd probably be a good idea, yeah.
Maybe 18's fine. 18's still running back 1 pretty much.
Maybe
so he deserves to be that number 2. But number 3 is where it gets a little hairy. I mean, if you're in PPR, man, you could absolutely make the case for Justin Jefferson, Cooper Kupp. I think you could even throw Dalvin Cook in there.
Gonna steal my thunder.
Oh, about taking Dalvin Cook?
I don't know about Dalvin Cook. I don't know about that noise.
I think Justin Jefferson needs to be the 3rd pick in redrafts, and you could totally
over
make
Cooper Kupp?
Yeah, and you could totally make a case that he could go 2nd over McCaffrey if you want the stability. I didn't put this question on the show sheet, guys, but I want to talk to you about this. LaPlante, I want to get your opinion. How many times, and you know that I'm team running back with my first pick usually, okay? But how many times do we need to get burned by a running back early before we change?
I've been burned so many times, bro.
Before we go to the stability of the wide receiver position and take a Justin Jefferson and take a Cooper Kupp. And those are the only two really receivers that I'd take that high. Stephon Diggs. At what point do we change and do we attack those positions just because of the stability and just because of the safeness in the first round? Because you don't want to get burned in the first round, and that's a fact. If you waste your first round pick on Christian McCaffrey, very good chance that that's going to ruin your season.
Yeah, and it's a good chance if, someone like Justin Jefferson gets injured, that can ruin your season just as easily.
Whoa, knock on wood.
There's a lot less injury worries with wide receivers than they are with running backs.
That's
running
so
backs
true.
Constantly getting shit beat out of him.
But here's the thing. As great, as safe as a wide receiver is, everybody is chasing what Cooper Kupp did last year. All right? It does not happen every year. Cooper Kupp's not going to do it again. I doubt Justin Jefferson's going to do what he did, as much hype as we're giving him. All right? It does not happen that often. What Cooper Kupp's seasons did is an anomaly, and I get it. But you know what the most inconsistent position in fantasy football outside of the tight end position? It's the wide receiver. Cooper Kupp was fantastic last year. I believe, I can't remember the exact number, but I believe he was above like 18 fantasy points per game, at least every single game.
He busted one game. Every game he finished top 24 or higher.
Yeah, he never
name
had
another wide receiver that's done
He never
that.
had a game
Wasn't
under
even
like 11
close.
fantasy points. It'd probably be my only guess, to be honest with you, and this is the best fantasy player I've ever had on my roster. You guys probably know what I'm going to say.
Yeah,
probably
Antonio
the best.
Brown.
Yes, that was probably the last time that I'd do that, because Antonio Brown was an unreal fantasy player for that like 3-year span.
What about Megatron that 1 year? I don't know if
he was still inconsistent though, because he didn't have the touchdowns all the time. That was the only downside with him. But yeah, no, you're betting on the Cooper Kupp season, which has a lesser probability of happening than your running back getting injured in the first round. Yes, your running backs, not many of them play a full year, but if you can get 12 to 14 games out of a running back, that's a win. And if you're getting the number one running back, the person who gets targets and rushing attempts, kind of like a souped up Deebo Samuel, give me that all day. And I get that. But you can always draft some running backs in the back end to help you out if that happens. You're never going to get somebody to replace CMC. But I'm telling you, if you ask anybody who had CMC the year he went off, I guarantee you about 99% of them won their championship.
I don't know about 99, but I'd say 80 plus for sure.
Yeah.
We know one. I mean, our buddy Sean, when he had first year back into the league, has CMC go on a tear.
Bullshit.
I mean, he had some help from Lamar Jackson because that was his MVP year. But, dude, if you have CMC for a full year, you have such an advantage. It's just not even fair. It's like having two Travis Kelce's.
Ike, what's your take on it? Are you tired of getting burned by the running backs at all? Or
I am. I most certainly am, because my past probably 4 or 5 years of our home league, I've gone running back. It has been good, except for my one championship year.
I think I'm.
It hasn't been good. I just won a championship.
I don't want to say
1 out of the 5. Yeah.
I don't want to say I'm 100% staying away from the running back start, but I'm 100% more going the route of like running back, wide receiver, and then hopefully getting Travis Etienne or AJ Dillon as my running back too, right there.
Sure.
You might have to take him in the 4th round or the 5th round or the 4th round, ideally the 5th round. But yeah, there's just
into that running back.
But Mike, there's just so much value. But I kind of like the running back dead zone because of AJ Dillon and Travis Etienne, because they have that upside right there.
Get Tony Pollard out of my face.
Nah, Tony
usage,
Pollard.
Man. He's gonna be used a lot.
You want to talk about usage? Let's talk about the guy who's going to get majority of the touches in that fucking backfield, Ezekiel Elliott.
Yeah. Nice segue.
I'm just killing it, man. Killing it right now.
Next question. What type of ceiling does Zeke, Chubb, and Aaron Jones have if they're handcuffed goes down?
I love Zeke and Aaron Jones if the handcuff goes down.
The fuck? Why not Chubb?
What?
I was say
I
Chubb,
know.
Chubb
Who's the
might be the
starting
best.
quarterback for this year?
It don't matter.
It don't matter. Okay, so when they stack the box and have
I'm sure
more
they've been
men
stacking the
rushing
box on this man since he started the league, and he's still popping out 5.5 yards per carry.
It matters to an extent. It matters to an extent because their offensive line is also very good.
It's not the best in the league anymore like it was, but it's still
really
good.
Top
Yes.
five.
It's really
But
good.
I'm telling you right now, if Jacoby Brissett can't throw the ball, you know what they're going to expect? Nick Rush. Kareem, pass. Nick Rush.
Some dudes are just hard to take down, man, and one of them is Nick Chubb.
It's true.
I think Aaron Jones the top 5 running back. If there's no AJ Dillon, just think of all the passing game work and all the touchdowns he would get. That'd be completely absurd. Nick Chubb, I agree with Ike. He would probably also be a top 5 running back, even though Jacoby Brissett's probably going to be his quarterback. And Zeke, I'd say probably a top 8 guy.
Yeah, I don't even have Nick Chubb ranked as an RB1. I get that shit out of here.
Why though?
Well, he doesn't get any passing work. That's huge in PPR.
All he needs is 250 carries. At his yards per carry average, dude, it's like 1,400 yards.
Okay,
10
so when
touchdowns.
Derrick Henry did it, you didn't want him, but Nick Chubb does it, you want him. I see. I got you.
From where he's going, yeah, Derrick Henry was going as running back 1 or 2 at the time. Nick Chubb's going as what like 12 or 13 right now?
He's got a point.
He's
Yeah,
not
it is decent value. He is going as running back 12, 13. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he also gets hurt all the time. Derrick Henry don't get hurt.
Nick Chubb's actually running back 14.
Derrick Henry got hurt for
Damn.
the one time.
That's fine. Good for him.
But yeah, that was pretty much
It might have been his first actual all around.
Oh, actually. But yeah, we got anything else, guys, or does that pretty much wrap it up?
Man, I can't think of anything else unless you guys have gotten any news by then. I've just been seeing things that Stephon Diggs is so good. I love watching him run routes.
All right.
But I do want to mention to you guys, and Joe kind of spoiled the news there a little earlier with his comment. We are doing a fantasy 6-pack live draft next week, guys, on the podcast.
It's gonna be sweet.
Yeah, it's a paid entry league, and it's 12 writers from our writing staff all going to be in. We're going to have guys pop in and out here, talk about their thoughts on their picks and all that news. And I honestly can't wait. I think it's going to be an absolute blast. 12 teams, full PPR, 1 quarterback, 2 running back, 3 receivers, and 3 flex, and 6 bench spots. And we're going to do that next week on the Fantasy 6-Pack YouTube channel, guys. So hit that
What
little
time are
bell.
we starting that?
The draft is at 9 Eastern time. So make sure you guys hit that bell for the notifications so you get notified when we go live next week to do that.
Pretty much a live mock draft for you guys.
No, but it's not it's a live real draft.
I know, but they're not in it, so it's a mock draft for them to go off of with analysts.
For sure. And we're paying money to be in the league, so we're all taking
there's something on the line.
I'm sure with a couple guests that we're gonna have popping in and out, I'm sure there's gonna be shit talking on the stream.
You guys are so fucked. I'm gonna destroy you guys.
Oh, dude, enough with that already.
You like the shit talking of a kindergartner. I'm not afraid.
Nice shirt, dude. That's like a shirt kindergartner would wear.
A shirt? What wear? You went out on me. I didn't hear
you. Kindergartner would wear. A kindergartner.
What kindergartners do you see wearing collars?
Cooper would wear
school day, bro.
Cooper would
Picture
wear
day
like that all day long.
Picture day.
All right, congratulations. I don't know who's wearing this picture day though.
A kindergartner? Why not?
All right, guys. Yeah, I think
Dylan's the only one I know that dresses their kid in collared shirts, but that's
because my kids got swag, man. The all white Air Force ones, you already know.
I think that's more Ashley's doing.
Hell yeah. Woo.
Oh, yeah. All right. But yeah, guys, like I said, please like and subscribe to the podcast wherever you listen to your podcasts. Hit the subscribe button on the Fantasy 6-Pack YouTube channel. We appreciate it. You can follow me on the Twitter machine at dclemens2222. You can follow Mike Body at Ike2121. Follow Mike LaPlante at @belike_Mike with 2 eyes. And we will talk to you all next week. See you guys.
Have a good